years old and I'm from Sydney, Maine.
Hi, I'm Marinary. I'm 12 years old and I live in Gore, Maine.
I think food waste is a problem. It's a problem because when you waste food, then you're basically just wasting what you have. And like if we don't reserve enough, then like maybe someday we'll run out of food if we don't like use it properly. Like if we take advantage of it and let's say we eat all the meat of cows like in 1 year and then we don't have any more cows, then what are we going to do about hamburgers?
I feel that people in less fortunate countries should definitely have food, while us Americans are just throwing stuff away and not even caring about how other people get fed, or that people are dying because they don't have fresh water or clean food to eat.
I think of food just as something that's around. Like sometimes you have it, sometimes you don't. Certain food like is really precious and stuff, like pomegranate, because it costs a lot of money and it's really delicious, kind of like star fruit too. But then other food like apples, you just find right when you walk in and you get almost every time you go into a grocery store.
When I throw away food, I think of how much money we're throwing away.
Food waste is harmful to nature because when you throw food away, like into your trash cans and stuff, then there's dumps where it just all piles up and gets more and more and more, and pretty soon we're gonna just like end up living on tops of hills that used to be dumped. That are dumped because that's what they do with dump. They make it into a hill. And if we keep on throwing away all that food, we're going to have to make bigger dump places, and more of the world will get trashed and stuff. So it's really important that we start recognizing food waste.
So I have 8 siblings and then plus my 2 parents, and we all live in the same house. So it's usually hectic around where we live, and there's always things being cooked on the stove, and we always have leftovers to feed everybody throughout lots of days.
At home, like if my mom makes a really big deal, we put it all into containers and save it. And we're usually pretty good about remembering to eat things that are out of the fridge and not always making it, but every once in a while a hummus will go bad or something.
When I was little, my great-grandmother always kept a compost bucket in the house. When we were done any meal, we'd dump the leftovers into the bucket and then we'd take it down to feed the neighbor's pigs. Composting with the pigs is better than throwing it out, because if we threw it out, it'd just go to the dump. If we gave it to the pigs, then the pigs would have something to eat and it wouldn't hurt the environment.
Also, my family has a lot of compost bins. Like we have a compost bin that's just for worms, because my mom keeps a bucket of worms in our cold room in the basement. And like she'll put them out during the summer and then we also have another compost bin that my mom puts into a compost barrel and spins it, and then after the compost is fully good, we use it in our garden that we get lots of food from.
And my family, when we make food or go out to eat, we usually have a lot of leftovers because we're all pretty hungry when we eat. And when we're all done, we put it in containers and then put it in the fridge, and we usually have a leftover night and we eat the leftovers for supper.
I think food is kind of with nature, because nature is the thing that certain fruits come from. Like nature is what is the soil that you plant like your cucumbers in or anything if you have a garden, or the people who bring the cucumbers to the supermarket planted it in. And nature is a big part in it because it basically does that. It makes it so that way you have food most of the time. Like nature gives grass, and the cows eat grass, and the cows make hamburgers. It kind of all resolves together. But then again, it doesn't start from nature, because it's separate, because like some people think of it as, oh, nature's beautiful water running through crooks, or nature's a nice big forest or something like that. But they don't think of it as it associates with food, like salmon and stuff. They think, oh, well, salmon's just fish. Fish come out of the water. Fish gets their head chopped up. We eat fish.
I think it's better to make just enough food for the one time you're going to eat, because if it goes bad, then you're just going to throw it away anyway.
Well, I think that we can all try to keep our food and keep eating it just over long periods of time, so that nothing gets wasted, and that we should recycle lots of items, that we can make fresh bottles or whatever, so we can send water and food over to less fortunate countries.
I think all families should keep a compost bucket in their house to put the leftovers in, so it won't damage the environment.
I think what can be done about food waste is the people like to realize that they really should preserve food and like keep it and use it more than just, oh, we're making a big roast 3 days after Thanksgiving, oh, there's still a lot of roast left, let's just get rid of it. And they just trash it or something. People should really start realizing that they can compost, that they can kind of grow their own food or get organic stuff, which is better for nature and for them. And they should really just we should do about it is we should like tell people about composting and kind of talk to people about it orderly, or like make a YouTube video that's funny but still gets to the point of food waste.